does this always happen? Eat the rich.
I agreed.
That was my cold open
Oh,
for you.
okay. Yeah. I was thinking the same thing watching this thing, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know, like F Cusco. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a rich jerk.
He does represent the 1%.
He does. He does. Guys, welcome back, or welcome for the first. Oh, sorry. Welcome back to Full Time Movie Fans. I'm your host, Jarvis. This is other host.
I'm tired.
He's very tired. Hi, tired. I'm Jarvis.
See, Simple said bad joke. She's all the way across the house.
Yeah, she heard that.
She's reading her book.
She could sense the bad jokes.
She's reading her slightly smutty romance novel in the other room.
Speaking of slightly,
the Full-Time Movie Fans Patreon now with live. Shirtless episodes. That's right. You can watch us both with our shirts off, like you've always asked for.
You guys been asking for this, and we finally just caved.
Yeah, it's overwhelming. Why would you say no to free money? You know,
it's yeah, and we needed to clean out the inbox because you guys are dirty.
It was only one person. It was just the same person over and over.
Yeah, 100 times.
Yeah. But they did pay for the custom requests, so thank you very much for funding the next 8 months of this podcast.
Yeah, speaking of custom requests, if you guys ever, because I feel like we haven't said this in a while, and we haven't gotten any in a while, because obviously, like, we just, if you don't know already, you could probably tell we're unscripted, but also, like, we'll literally just text each other a day or two before recording and just be like, hey, what movies are we doing? So if you guys want to see a specific movie, feel free to hit us up in the comments. It's been a while. I think, what was the last one that we did? That was a commenter request.
Pokemon.
That wasn't a commenter request. That was an IRL request.
That's true. But it was still a viewer request.
That's true, I guess. I think our official one, I want to say it was Dungeons and Dragons or Barbie movie.
Probably one of those two, yeah.
Yeah. So hit us up. Let us know if you want
And that's right, Jarvis. Part of this unscripted podcast is that we watch the movies together and then we talk about them.
Yes.
You like that?
Yes.
I'm brushing up on my acting.
Yeah, and also, like, I want you guys to know we appreciate you guys, all the people that I've bugged to subscribe. Hopefully you enjoy watching us, but we're at 193 right now. I guess 200 is just 7 away, so feel free to help us get there.
193 MFers strong.
Yeah, that's right. And but we need, what do we need?
500 apparently.
We need 307 more to get to 500, and we'll do something special.
Yeah.
We'll give free access to our shirtless recordings.
It does all spiral, you know, as it goes on.
Yeah.
1 turns into 2, 2 turns into 4, 4 turns into 8, 8 turns into 16, 16 turns into 32, 32 turns into 64, 64 turns into 128, 128 turns into 256, 256 turns into 512, 512 turns into 1028.
This guy math. He's good at it, guys.
That's while tired.
Yeah, dude, you should see his math skills when he's got a full night's rest and a day to just relax.
They're not much better. It's probably better this way, actually.
Yeah.
It's all those years of public education have prepped me for stress and tired.
Yeah, you're a little bit off your groove right now.
I have, yeah. I've been thrown off my groove. Which is crazy because I am still switching the camera for the show while doing this.
Yeah, you wouldn't like him with a new groove.
No. So, Jarvis, my impression of The Emperor's New Groove is I watched it when it came out in 2000. Is that right?
Yeah, 2000. Came out in 2000.
No, I didn't watch it in theaters. My parents didn't take us to those things. I was 3 years old. You like that?
You're so young.
You like knowing that?
You're so young with so much of your life ahead of you. What's that like?
Some days it feels like nothing, and some days it feels like I have all opportunity.
Yeah, dude, you've had your hands on some interesting stuff recently. Why don't you plug some of your stuff, man? Tell them about your YouTube channel. You've got your own YouTube channel.
So I have a YouTube channel that posts update videos right now, which is pretty cool. No one asked, and I do it anyway. So if you want to be the seventh view on half of those videos, please head on over to my channel, which is not going to pop up right here, but it'll be right there. Because
It'll be the first comment.
It'll be the first comment. Yeah, it's the one with over 1,000 subscribers. That's me. I think I am our highest subscriber for this channel.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool. And I'm gonna keep it that way. So head on over there. And other than that, I write movie. I have a Patreon for $1 a month, which also currently gives you mostly the update videos, but some other cooler stuff that's behind the scenes. And I think Sybil and I are making fake ice cream this week for fun.
Are you guys gonna post that?
Yep.
Sweet. There you go.
Yeah, prop ice cream.
There you go.
But like edible prop ice cream, non-melting.
Nice.
Prop ice cream.
Dairy free, gluten free.
I wouldn't say that. and I am going to be an extra in a little short series thing. You've probably seen them on TikToks, but I can't tell you what they are because I'm under a non-disclosure agreement. So that's that.
There you go. Yeah, man.
I'm also the co-host of a podcast called Full Time Movie Fans. My blood type is, I don't know what are the blood types.
I think what's your social security number? You were gonna.
It's 821-457-844.
There you go. Another thing you guys have all been asking for.
My credit card number is 2814. Just kidding. Not gonna do that one.
Yeah.
I have shocked people before with my ability to just like spout numbers off the top of my head confidently, so they think that I'm telling the truth.
Yeah.
I can do it with credit cards, social security numbers, phone numbers.
Anything that has to do with numbers.
Yeah. Well, my brain recognizes the digits. So like the amount of digits that are needed.
That's cool. It's a unique thing.
It's not.
For some people, some people's brains, it's hard to recognize.
Do you like tired yes anding? That's what I'm doing. So my first impression of The Emperor's New Groove.
When you were 3.
When I was 3. And it came out. I probably watched it when I was like 4 or 5. My sisters were the ones watching it for sure for a while. But I also grew up with the TV show that they had.
Oh, yeah.
The Emperor's New School.
Yeah.
Which was not a good idea, just to be clear.
No.
But I watched it because I was young, and that's what it was on. And YouTube didn't exist yet. So
otherwise you would have been on YouTube.
And once it did exist, I was. Let me tell you that. So yeah, I remember really liking Emperor's New Groove. It's a really nice, compassionate story in the era of drawn Disney animated films. Probably like one of the last ones, like close to last ones that were done.
Maybe.
I know Lilo and Stitch came out afterwards, so probably more towards that. But
yeah, Lilo and Stitch just came out. We did a review on it a week or 2 ago.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, my days are blurring together.
In fact, I think we just released the full review.
That's crazy.
Days ago.
That's a crazy thing to have done.
Yeah.
We're sponsored by Cane's, by the way. And by sponsored, I mean I had them earlier.
Yeah, more like you sponsored them.
Yeah, true.
You sponsored their
I learned that they have a rewards app recently, and that was devastating because I probably could have saved hundreds of dollars. Yep, that was my impression of Emperor's New Groove. Your turn.
I love this movie. I love it. It's not. I think I literally asked you.
Yeah, you've been asking for a little bit too.
Wow,
not like pestering constantly, but more like you know which one we should do soon? Emperor's New Groove.
Well, I wanted to do. We haven't done an animated movie for a little bit. I feel like,
Travis, we just released Lilo and Stitch last week.
but that was live action.
Live action. It's animated. Be honest with yourself.
So, well, I think Stitch and a lot of the other, characters were definitely animated.
What is this
CGI.
poster? Have you seen this poster?
No, I haven't.
That's not a poster from back then. There's no way.
Yeah, probably not.
That looks like a Despicable Me poster.
Yeah.
And that's Despicable Me is not from 2000.
No, it's not. But Emperor's New Groove is, and this is a movie that's just so much fun to me. Like, I enjoy the depth of the story, like the character development for Cusco, and stuff like that. I love David Spade. I love John Goodman. Can you look up some of the other voice actors there? Because I think Pacha's wife is played by
Eartha Kitt, who is Yzma. Are you aware
I'm not aware
Eartha
of her.
Kitt? She did a bunch
Fantastic job, though. Yzma's amazing.
She's a singer, and I'm blanking on what she sings most popularly right now. But she was in a bunch of Orson Welles stuff too. So she's very good. She's a very good actress. Got Patrick Warburton as Kronk. He also has the best IMDb profile picture. It's just him in a purple ant suit. The Tick. Okay, yeah.
The Tick.
We got Wendy Malick.
Okay.
As Chicha.
That's Pacha's wife?
I believe so.
So I believe, if I'm not incorrect, Pacha's wife, her voice actress, was also in something with David Spade, Just Shoot Me. He had a show. You don't know about that show?
Nope.
It was something that I watched as a kid that I probably shouldn't have, to be honest with you. But David Spade, she was in the show Just Shoot Me, I believe.
And for you Gen Zers out there, she plays Mima in Young Sheldon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. No, then that maybe that's not her. I don't know. Can you check?
Yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah,
there's a lot of
What was the
great-
thing you said?
It was a show called Just Shoot Me. With
Okay,
David.
this is easier.
So, but anyways, it's one of those animated movies. So I was
that's fair.
in like high school.
You're right.
Oh, okay. I was definitely in high school, or middle school, when this movie came out. So prime age to watch this movie and love it as a child, which I do. It's got such nostalgia for me.
It is prime
It's
age
not
for you.
as good as, and I asked you this because I agree. It's not as good as a Goofy movie.
Dude, a Goofy movie just has something special in it.
It's so, yeah.
There's some magic something in there.
Yeah. It's got some extra.
And it's
Disney-
not the musical part.
Yeah, it's got some extra.
not at all.
Well, you know what? A lot of the musical songs and stuff are fantastic.
Both of the Powerline songs are fantastic.
great.
The rest of the songs are
No,
basically not rememberable.
I like the On the Open Road song. That one's great. With
Yeah.
everybody in traffic singing along.
Can you sing it all at once with remembering every word?
Me and Max relaxing like the old days. I think that's part of it.
I think I think that's a part of it. It's pretty good.
So, but this is also Disney. It just, I think a Goofy movie does have a little bit of extra Disney magic in it. Maybe it's because it literally has Mickey Mouse in it as a
Yeah.
cameo. But, dude, the Emperor's New Groove is just so funny to me. Like, there's so many good little quotes and little bits. I actually wrote some of them down that I wanted to.
Oh, that's good.
I did because there's
Wow, look at Jarvis
just
preparing.
everything that Kronk says is just pure gold.
It is true. Every single line of Patrick Warburton's is just really good.
It's just comedy gold.
Yeah.
And then John Goodman is he's like his character Pacha. You feel like that's just John Goodman in real life.
Yeah, it very feel good.
And John Goodman is an incredible actor.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
Yosoli in Monsters Inc.
His best movie role is probably The Flintstones. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But he did. He wasn't the live
Yabba
action
dabba do.
Flintstones. Yeah.
God, back before live actions were popular.
It has that same. It's a little bit further down the list for me, like I said, than a Goofy movie, but it's got that same kind of good feelings that I enjoyed from my childhood.
That's good. And I agree.
Yeah.
Would you like me to start with some of the things in the movie that we should talk about, which is aptly timed? I didn't start the timer for you full-time movie fans that care about the production side of things. Where's the focus on this? What's happening? Anyways, so yeah, I didn't put the timer on, but I can see the little teeny tiny one in the corner. We're like perfectly on time. That's great.
Man, for once.
I know, it's crazy. All it took was not paying attention.
I know.
Hey.
You know what? You know what I think? Oh,
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, hey, we don't need it.
You know what I think I was gonna say was that we've been doing this so long. It's kind of like waking up without your alarm clock.
Which is what I did not do this morning.
Yeah. But when you're like,
Yeah, like a minute before.
you're like, yeah.
You're like, oh, what time is it?
I need to wake
You
up.
beat the alarm clock that
I need
morning.
to wake up at 7, and your body just wakes you up at 7.
Yeah, 6:59.
Yeah.
Like you look at your phone and the alarm goes off.
That's us right now with
That's
timing.
good. So where it all falls apart is right here.
We're hitting our groove.
How full-time movie fans got his groove back. That's another movie.
Yeah. That's true. We'll do that one next.
So, yeah. Emperor's New Groove. Cusco's an emperor, and he's kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
And he's very stuck up and full of himself. He even has a little intro song for the morning. Everyone talks about how great he is. And it ends with an old man getting in his way in the middle of his little solo dance number.
Yeah, I guess part of Cusco's job is talking.
It's fielding questions.
Yeah,
and
trying to
concerns.
solve problems, but
Yeah.
he doesn't seem too interested in that.
No. And so he
he
tells the old man that he threw off his groove and
during the
tosses him
dance
out a
number.
window.
Yeah, during a dance number, he bumps into an old man because he wasn't paying attention, and then his punishment for that is death, basically.
But the old man did not die.
Yeah, no, he didn't. But I mean,
Which maybe
because it's
who
cartoon,
says he might be able
kids,
to.
But I mean, I think otherwise,
They talk about death a lot in this one.
yeah. I'm not sure that any death actually happens, though.
No, none.
Not a single one.
Not a single death. Spoilers.
Yeah.
So he fires his, I forget her actual title, but basically like a council assistant, Yzma. She's old. Said, yep, you're fired. Bye. Don't need you anymore.
She's definitely old and evil in a Disney villain kind of way.
Yeah, in the most Disney Cruella DeVille way. And so she obviously gets very upset about that. And then Pacha, John Goodman, comes in because he's been summoned to the palace. That's what emperors have, right? It's
That's
palaces.
why he's there.
And he goes, Pacha, my main man, come on over here. I have a really important question for you. Your town is on the top of this big, beautiful hill, right? And Pacha goes, oh, yeah. When the sun rises, it like the hills practically sing. And he goes, great. That's all I needed. Thank you very much. Be on your way.
Yeah, he was like, well, what side? I mean, like, he's like, oh, yeah, just behind these trees over here. It's perfect. And he's like, great.
Perfect.
Thanks.
This is where my new vacation home is going to go.
Cuscotopia or something like that.
Yeah, it's a water park
Yeah, he's building a water park.
for himself.
Yeah, on top of, directly on top of Pacha's home.
And Pacha goes, people live there. And Cusco goes, bye, not anymore. And so Pacha has to leave. And then Yzma tells her new young hot assistant Kronk that
You think he's hot?
I think that was the purpose of him, was to be the hot young buff assistant that makes cream puffs.
That's definitely not a hot take.
No.
He's very in
Not at all.
shape. He's not too bright, but he is.
Cusco even, and I caught this time because I didn't as a kid.
Yeah.
Cusco even has like a little conversation with Yzma about it where she's like, so he's the new guy, huh? And she's like, yeah, he's a little young, right? Probably like mid-20s.
She's like,
Very young for you. And I was like, oh, interesting.
she's like Leonardo DiCaprio. She keeps
likes him
she
real
likes him
young.
young, yeah.
Yeah. So I keep
She
on
gets-
getting
'cause-
older, but they keep on staying the same age.
Because he said she gets a new one every year.
I missed that line. I definitely missed that line. That's very funny though. So Yzma tells Kronk that she was fired, and they're gonna kill Kuzco and take over the empire, basically.
With the poison for Cusco.
Yeah, the Cusco's poison.
Cusco's poison.
Yeah. So they're at the dinner with Cusco after.
I think
she's
some levers
fired.
have already been pulled.
Some levers have definitely been pulled. Wrong ones
Wrong.
too. I know where you're going with this. I know we're going quick and efficient with the puns today.
Dude, what can I say?
The puns and the gags. They're all efficient today.
You were saying?
So they have a nice little dinner. Kronk makes spinach puffs. He's very proud of
They
them.
almost burned. But
They almost burned. He also almost poisoned everybody. And Cusco drinks the poison, and the poison's actually llama potion.
yeah, so he turns into a llama.
So he turns into a llama. And then Kronk bops him on the top of the head to knock him out. And Yzma goes, go dispose of the body. Go take care of it. And Kronk, on the way to dispose of the body, falls and no, he drops the thing off in like the sewers. The bag opens. Cusco's there. He's sad, but he ends up. I don't even remember how. Like in town, where Pacha is.
I think the water takes him, down, and he rolls kind of onto Pacha's cart.
Yeah. And then they have their little, whoa, it's a talking llama, but it's the emperor. That's crazy. And Cusco goes, you got to take me back so I can be fixed. I got to get back to the palace. And Pacha goes, well, it's a shame. I'd head over there right now, but
You're just going to destroy
just
my
going to
village.
take care of it. So maybe not.
Yeah.
And then they have their fun little their little buddy cop movie moment where they hate each other for a little bit.
Well, Cusco definitely is very, very full of himself and thinks he knows best just because he's just like every super uber rich person. They think that they're the smartest and know the best for everybody else. So he's like, you know what? I don't need your help to go to the village. And he does this, I don't know, 15 different times during the movie. Like, and one thing I noticed is he just does not understand what being a good person even looks like.
No.
Because Pacha's staring him square in the face for the whole movie, and he still like doesn't trust him when all he's been is trustworthy the whole time.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think the first time he goes off on by himself, isn't it the Jaguars? Is that the first thing that happens?
I think so.
Yeah, because he's like, fine, I don't need you.
But he does.
Yeah, and then he gets. It brings us back to the beginning of the movie where he's just in the rain.
Yeah.
Crying.
And he goes, this is me. You probably wonder how I got here.
Yeah. And then Jaguars chase and Pacha comes
and then
to
Pacha saves him. And then they hang out for a little bit. And then how did they end up in
I just remember they get washed up on a shore.
Yeah.
And then Pacha's about to give him mouth to mouth. And then he wakes up and they're both staring at each other like, oh, gross.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Cusco continues to be a jerk because he's trying to start a fire to keep them warm. And Cusco, like, washes water on it. And then he throws a towel on the fire. And he finally gets it going. And Cusco's just by himself, being a tough guy. And he's freezing and shivering. And Pacha's by the fire. And, of course, good guy Pacha puts a towel on him so he can sleep.
Yeah.
Or his poncho or whatever. Pacha's poncho. He gives it to him so he could sleep.
And then water washes them up.
Yeah.
They fall off the cliffside.
Yeah, there's a rickety bridge. It falls apart.
That's right.
Yeah, because he says
he said, "Hey, if you can get me back to the palace, I'll not destroy your village."
Yeah,
and Pacha's like, "Great, let's go straight there."
Yeah, he gives him a shake on it deal. And don't shake if you don't mean it.
And then they go onto the rickety bridge. Pacha falls through the rickety bridge, and he goes, "Cusco, help!" And he goes, "No, I was just planning on imprisoning you in my palace dungeon forever, but this is easier."
Yeah. See ya. And
then he falls, and they both fall, and then they have to climb up the mountain. Together back to back.
There's crocodiles below, peril, certain death, and so they have to work together.
And then they do.
Yeah.
And they succeed.
Yeah, but what's funny is the whole when he finally gets the rope, it's stuck on a branch, and he pulls on the rope, and a bunch of scorpions fall onto Cusco's chest, and then he freaks out, and so Pacha has to like catch him, and he swings his face into a little tiny cave the size of his face, and then the scorpions fall in Pacha's poncho, and then he starts banging it against the rock, and then a bunch of bats come out, and
They eat scorpions
yeah,
because bats like scorpions.
do they?
I don't know. I'll ask one next time I see one if you want.
I think the only thing I know about bats is some of them drink blood and some of them eat fruit, and most of them eat insects.
Yeah, the vampire bats eat the insects.
No,
Yeah.
the fruit bats eat the insects.
No, the vampire bats eat the insects and suck blood from donkeys.
Let's get a bat expert in the comments to straighten this out here.
Can a resident bat expert in the comments tell me that I'm wrong? Thanks. So now they're best friends, and they
Wouldn't
go
it be
to
crazy if Batman comments in the comment section.
Bateman. Patrick Bateman. So they go to a diner.
Jason Bateman.
Oh, the Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman, hey, if you ever come across this, please come on our podcast.
Jason Bateman. If you ever see this, I saw your commercial for Progressive.
Allstate.
Allstate.
Or State. Is it State Farm?
I don't know.
It's
It's one of them. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Come on, I've worked in the insurance industry. It's State Farm commercial.
Yeah, I basically know all the Pokemon cards. I'm John Pokemon, right? So look at Johnny Insurance over here.
John gotta catch them all. Pokemon.
They go to a diner. They pretend to be married. It's very funny. They think it's very funny. And they get a meal, and then Kushko goes off for no reason, and Yzma and Kronk show up. They're looking for Kushko. They can't find Kushko. Kushko's right there.
I think
there's a little rope-a-dope.
Well, I think this is we skipped an important part where Yzma went out to search for Kuzco, and they are in the jungle, and they get a bunch of much-needed information from a squirrel.
Because of Kronk.
Squeaky squeaking squeaker.
Yeah, said that a llama was getting in trouble.
Yeah, Kronk to the rescue, actually. Kronk saves the day because he's a nice guy, and
he's the only reason anything happens.
Yeah, and the squirrel was like, I don't want to talk to that mean lady, and tell her to go way over there. There's just funny bits. I think Kronk is like
Kronk does have some good stuff for sure.
Yeah, so squeaky squeaker squeaking, and he finds out that a talking llama and there was jaguars. And that's how they get pretty close. I mean, obviously, and now they're in the restaurant together. Yeah. And hijinks ensue.
And Pacha rescues Cusco from being kidnapped.
He overhears.
Yeah, that they're trying to find Cusco to kill him.
Yeah, Yzma and Kronk.
And Pacha goes, hey, there's this scary lady who's looking for you. And he goes, oh, Yzma, that's fine. I'll just go over to them and they'll take me back to the palace.
They love me. I'm their whole life.
Yeah. And then Cusco overhears that
he's literally about to tap him on the shoulder.
Yeah, to basically get murdered.
And they're like, yeah, we hate this guy. Nobody misses him. We'll kill him next time.
Yeah.
And then he immediately
and then he goes to Pacha and is like, oh, these people, they hate me. Just, yeah.
Yeah.
Said, yeah, if you didn't try to take away people's villages a jerk.
Part 15 of him not listening to Pacha.
Yeah.
When he was telling the truth. So.
And then Pacha, they travel some more a little bit, have some buddy moments, and then Pacha gets a phone call from his wife, right?
Yeah.
Saying that.
On his iPhone?
Yeah, on his iPhone. It's weird. It was a weird suspension of disbelief. Whatever, it's fine.
Because the iPhone didn't even come out till 2004 or 5?
Yeah. Product placement,
6,
whatever.
Something like that. I don't know.
But Pacha's wife calls and goes, hey, your distant relatives here? And he's like, what? Which ones? I don't know. She's kind of scary looking. And so they rush back to the village. And yeah, it's Yzma. and Pacha's wife kind of catches on. Is like, this isn't.
She's smart.
This isn't real.
She knows what's going on.
No, and so they show up, and Pacha explains that the Emperor's a llama.
Dude, can I just say, Pacha's kids are hilarious. Too.
Pacha's kids are hilarious.
Yeah, and they are in on it. And they know what's going on. And
Yeah,
they know exactly how to handle these.
And so while Cusco and Pacha head back to the palace, the kids and mom fuck aroround with.
I want to say
Yzma.
that one of the funniest things was Pacha's little boy was woke up from a nightmare.
Oh yeah.
Dad was chased by jaguars and
yeah,
he kissed a talking llama. His mom's like,
go back to bed. Yeah, go back to bed. Which was it was very funny. It's like a short little one-off thing that happened before the diner.
Yeah.
And then the big chase to the end starts happening, where they head back to the palace to find Yzma's lab.
Yeah, I feel like that's like a lot of our videos. They just kind of like rush the ending.
Yeah,
it's just them traveling on a map.
I mean, it is.
There's no more.
It's I think the plot point is like the escape from without or whatever, and all it is like it's basically car chase.
Yeah,
is the act 3 beginning? It's like they're just chasing after each other. That's what usually happens.
And you're not watching them going through the jungle anymore. You're watching them on a map.
Yeah,
making loop-de-loops.
Like actually, yeah.
Yeah, up to the capital.
So it's a very common Act 3 beginning where it's like, okay, the movie's winding up now. You guys got lock in. Things are happening. Let's go. So they get to the palace. They find Yzma's thing, but they're being chased the whole time, and potions are flying everywhere. Yzma turns into a cat.
Yeah, well, I think one of the funniest lines is like all of her henchmen get turned into animals.
Oh yeah, can we go home?
The one guy's like, I just got turned into a cow. Can I go home?
Yeah,
and
they all just walk out.
Yeah, sure. Does anybody else want to go home? They're like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's
I do like that. It's like half of the things that happen in this movie are like a weird like fever dream moment.
Yeah,
that you'd see like. I remember watching the commercial trailers for Emperor's New Groove, and that was like one of the like things that just flashed by. It was them climbing up from the cliff, and that are like the two biggest things that came out of that.
Yeah, Yzma being a cat, she's definitely a little tiny cat as well.
Yeah,
so she's not as threatening anymore.
They find the antidote to the llama potion, which is also the antidote to the cat potion.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Yzma could have made some good money just selling potions. You know,
crazy.
She just didn't do
it.
A
business opportunity.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
She was just too focused on being in control. She could have just had a really great life selling potions.
Which I would have been happy about.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Just like, hey, just go get a potion, turn into a sheep.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, I could. Every night. They get chased. They get the antidote. Cusco turns himself back into a person. Bing, bang, boom. Everything's solved.
And the crazy thing is, by this time, he actually has become a person.
It's metaphorical.
He actually transformed into a real person. That's not an a-hole.
Yep. And the last thing we get is him talking to Pacha about how Pacha lied to him and that he was all over those hills and they did not sing. And so he's going to have to put his vacation home somewhere else. Yeah. And Pacha goes, there's a nicer hill right next to ours.
Yeah.
And so Cusco builds his summer home next to their village and just hangs out with them.
Yeah.
Because capitalism never wins and people are people and the proletariat will rise against the bourgeoisie.
Exactly. I was watching that the whole time. I was like, why do rich people think they know what's best for everybody? They don't even know.
Did you hear about Jeff Bezos and what's going on with him right now?
No, but
he tried to buy the city of Vienna for his wedding.
Oh yeah, they were pissed.
It did not work.
Yeah.
Well, I think he paid a bunch of money to the city of Vienna and at his wedding.
Yeah, but the people there were just like, screw you, buddy.
Yeah, you can't kick out people where they live, you know?
Yeah.
Send them all on vacation.
How very Cusco of him.
It was. That's why it reminded me. I was like, this is happening right now.
Yeah.
And I don't think Jeff Bezos is going to come back from vacation and go, what lovely people they taught me about myself.
Yeah.
I think that real life billionaires have gone a little too far past the humanitarian efforts and straight into the Christmas story needs to be visited by three ghosts scenario.
Yeah, exactly, man. I was thinking about that too. Sorry, we don't usually get into like deep stuff here.
Yeah, but I mean, like, let's be real. Billionaires aren't your friends.
no,
they
they're
don't
not
care
even
about
close. And I was thinking about even your government. They don't care about you. They
wow.
haven't lived in our type of shoes for so long. They have no idea what's important to us.
No, not at all.
And you could tell every election time when they talk about stuff, you're like, you have no idea.
It's like, dude, where have you been? We've already talked about this.
Yeah, for some reason,
we've resolved
politicians
this.
are millionaires for some reason. Like,
yeah,
that's crazy.
Well, they know it's good for us because people pay them a lot of money to vote for what's good for us.
Thanks, Cusco.
We're only talking about it because this movie is about basically the good ending of A Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Instead of three ghosts, it's one, and his name's Pacha. And he's not a ghost. He's just John Goodman.
Man, this world needs some more Pachas.
Yeah.
But sadly,
to kidnap the billionaires and show them around for a bit.
Man, I think, but not even, he didn't even do that on purpose. But you know what? The billionaire got to see what it's like to live a normal life.
And kind of liked it.
Yeah. And he was like, wow. Like,
there's good people.
Yeah, good people. They're content.
They care about him.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
I will say.
Pacha's just great. John Goodman, man. It's in his name. Goodman. Mm-hmm. Mr. Goodman.
Mr. Goodman.
Unlike
John Goodman, no less.
Yeah. Mr. John Goodman.
My bit, it comes full circle.
Hey, full circle, man. This is quality. This is a
full-time
quality
circle
episode.
fans over here.
Oh man.
My sleep deprivation does make me a little loopy.
Oh yeah.
It always does.
Well, like you said, this whole movie feels like a little bit of a crazy dream.
Yeah. After
sequence.
we're done recording, I'm actually going to take a couple of animal potions on my own, see what happens.
Dude, maybe everything that you're experiencing right now is a dream and it's not real.
Jarvis has been an alpaca this whole time. It's great. Jarvis, let's buy puppies. You want to buy a puppy?
Right now?
Yeah, let's go.
Full-time movie fans, put in the comments if you want us to go buy a
You
puppy.
can name it. I'll let the comments name it.
Yeah, you can name the puppy. Oh man, you know what? That's gonna be. Anytime you give the
full-time
internet control,
puppy fans. Where's Millie? Millie, come here.
Yeah, this episode has had a lack of animals. Besides,
I don't hear her. I don't think
except
she's
for
coming.
the two beasts right here. Oh,
Hold on, go ahead. Okay. Oh, that only helped you, Case. Not.
But yeah. So
okay.
overall, it's great. Are we doing the box office thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
What's the budget?
Goofy Movies was I think 17 mil. So I want to at least say like 19 mil.
100
mil.
100 mil.
Really?
Yeah.
Only 3 years apart.
Only 3 years apart.
Dude, that budget like swelled up
significantly. Yeah,
crazy
significantly higher budget.
And again, a Goofy movie is like way better. I mean, objectively, for less money.
Yeah.
So 100 million. It cost 100 mil to make.
Opening weekend, 3 days. What did it make?
3-day weekend. 40 mil.
9
million.
9 million opening weekend.
Oh man, that's not good.
You want to know what it made worldwide?
Hopefully, it made up its budget plus some extra.
About 170 mil.
170. Okay.
Which is why they didn't really do they didn't do like a direct sequel.
Yeah.
They did Kronk's New Groove, which I think was the like part of that weird time where they were doing like Lion King 1.5. Yeah. Was telling the stories between the stories, which I still think, by the way, I'm a big fan of that.
Okay, actually, let's put it this way. What do you guys think in the comments? Do you think that, like...
I don't think it was good, just to be clear. I don't think Kronk's New Groove was good in comparison. But I do like seeing what's happening.
Well, like
other way around.
Doing stuff like Disney, doing stuff like Kronk's New Groove and Lion King 1.5, is that better than all these live action remakes that they've tried to do recently?
They might be.
Which ones do you like better? Which
Oh
trend is
man,
better?
could you imagine a live action remake of
Lion King 1.5?
do you want to know a fun
Croc's New
fact
Groove.
about Lion
How come
King
they
one
don't
and a
do a
half?
live, dude, you know what if Disney did a live action Emperor's New Groove?
That would,
Could you imagine? John Goodman and David Spade are still alive,
I
man.
think it's kind of a silly idea to do a live action of a movie that you could literally just have human people in. You know, the only like talking animal part is the like the ending and him as a llama.
Yeah,
Which, like, I guess it makes sense, but at the same time, most of the movie's just two dudes talking to each other.
I feel like, but like all of the voice actors, I believe, are still with us.
John Goodman would be live action Pacha. No, there's no other
No doubt.
option.
Yeah, I mean, David Spade could still do.
He absolutely
Cusco.
could.
And then, of course, what's
He
his name? Could
absolutely
still do
could.
Kronk.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dude, Disney,
make it
happen.
I know that they
I would
kind of.
only watch it if all. Well, actually, I don't think the voice actress for Yzma is alive anymore. But
I'm sure they could find.
she was
somebody.
also an old black woman, so
Yeah.
I don't think she would have. Well, actually, no, that would still kind of work.
Yeah,
It definitely work.
yeah. I mean, they love villainizing black people.
It's fine. Just get a woman to direct it, and no one will bat an eye. You got to think like a movie producer,
Oh,
Jarvis.
okay,
You got
gotcha,
to think like a
okay.
big Hollywood producer.
These are the loopholes.
You can talk about things as long as somebody who is a part of the group is
A part of it.
a part of it.
Yeah, yeah,
Even
okay.
someone like adjacent to the group. So like you don't have to get a black woman to direct, just a woman.
Yeah. There you go.
Hollywood, baby.
You just got Hollywood.
You just got Hollywooded. Anyways, you want to know a fun fact about Lion King 1.5?
Yeah, tell us a
I
fun
know
fact about
about.
that.
So Lion King was based off of the Shakespeare play Hamlet.
Wait, what was?
Lion King.
I thought it was based off of Kimba, which they stole.
Oh yeah, but that was based off of Hamlet.
Oh, that was Kimba was based off of Hamlet?
Yeah.
And then Lion King was based off of Kimba.
Yep.
You've seen Kimba, right?
No,
You,
but I do know about
like
the
it's almost
like
like
1-to-1.
Yeah, it's like if ever there was a case to be made for plagiarism, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, we had AI, like you use AI to write your paper,
Yeah,
and it's a direct copy of Kimba.
yeah. They traced the lines.
Yeah, they changed one letter in the name of the main character.
Some it was perfectly fine. It works. But Lion King 1.5, the Timon and Pumbaa are direct references to the characters Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, which are
Those guys are great. I mean,
which are friends of Hamlet, which makes sense,
Yeah.
right? Because Timon and Pumbaa are friends of
Kimba. Simba.
Kimba.
Sorry.
Gimba. And so there is a play that was written not by Shakespeare
Yeah.
called Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead,
Oh,
which
no.
talked about what Rosencrantz and Guildenstern were doing during the rest of Hamlet when they weren't a part of the main story.
And that.
And so Lion King 1.5 is all of the things that are happening with Timon and Pumbaa.
Oh, so they copied that too,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. But except Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead is more of a like weird, like they're in limbo while these things are happening and they're waiting to pass through the afterlife. And Timon and Pumbaa are just eat bugs. But really, if you think about it, this podcast is kind of like Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead because we're just two goofballs trying to make it through life, but we seem to be in this ever non-ending purgatory that's called existence, where you and I continue to look forward to something that's supposed to happen to us in the future, but that future never comes.
Yeah, well, hopefully it will. And speaking of that, guys, feel free to like and subscribe. We're trying to. We would love to make this the full-time job for our full-time movie fans.
I'd like to continue working on my movie, please.
Yeah, we want to.
Yeah, no, that's a part of it.
Yeah, we've talked.
If you're actually a full-time movie fan, you know.
Yeah, because we talked about that, which was great. about La La Land. I really loved that one because we got to get real deep into
Jarvis and I always love
motivations.
talking about ourselves to each other.
in front of you guys.
And talking about each other to ourselves.
I talk to myself about Michael.
I think about Jarvis.
Guys, we hope you'll think about hitting that like and subscribe button.
You know what time it is. Every time you do it, I think about Good Mythical Morning, which you don't watch, but it's fine.
I've seen it.
Oh, okay. I mean, you have to.
Subscribe to them.
You have to have seen it at some point, right?
I think I am.
Like most people have to know about Rhett and Link.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. I didn't know about them though until I was in my like mid to late 20s though.
Oh, that's fine.
So
that's a fine thing.
As long as you find them.
I knew about them when I'm a hipster, by the way. I knew about them back when their channel was still called Rhett and Link, and they started Good Mythical Morning because I liked their like funky videos that they were doing. Back when YouTube was all about like making funky stop motion music videos with real life items,
or just random
with Mystery Guitar stuff. Man and Rhett and Link and all those fun guys.
And then the Vine days and
Well, that came a lot later. Mr. Guitar Man, by the way, an OG YouTuber, left the YouTube scene to go make movies, and he has a Sundance awarded movie that he made.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Well, hopefully you never leave YouTube, but you do get to make movies.
That'd be nice. Did I ever tell you that I was one of the first in the partner program for YouTube? Long, long time ago, back when it started. I was one of the first 1,000 people because they were testing it out.
Yeah.
Then they just rolled it out to whoever to see if they could like throw ads on stuff.
Yeah.
And I made a single $1 off of like 500 views.
Did you frame it?
No, because I never got it. Because they had a payout system. They still do. It's a minimum of $100. And so I never saw it. And now they've deleted that entirely. So I just never get that $1. So I'm a liar. And I'll never see that $1, and that's fine. We'll make another one.
Yeah,
YouTube money at some point.
We hope to hit our groove on the YouTube algorithm.
Yeah,
someday.
Jarvis's new groove. how Jarvis got his groove.
Jarvis and Michael,
and how Michael got his groove back. See now.
Okay.
I need to sleep less. This
just
episode's rolling.
Man, it's so good. Just like Emperor's New Groove.
Arbitrary rating.
Arbitrary rating system. I almost forgot that.
I almost forgot to.
Rewatchable. Rewatching it was such a joy. I enjoy talking about it. I enjoy watching it. I enjoy hearing people talk about it. I will probably enjoy rewatching this episode. So.
I will also say rewatchable, but I'm going to go on another tangent because that's where I am mentally at the moment. You should rewatch it, but you should not rewatch it on Disney Plus. I also don't necessarily say you should own it. You should definitely, by all legal means, come into a digital copy to put onto a personal hard drive or server for yourself, so that you have access to it in case for some reason somebody else decides they don't want you to have access to it anymore, even though you rightfully paid for it multiple times. Obviously, you paid for a movie ticket back in 2000. You paid for a DVD copy that your parents and or siblings lost or broke.
Or scratched the hell out of.
Or scratched the hell. I mean, hey, that happened to me multiple times. I was that sibling for a while. You pay for your Disney Plus subscription, which moreover, over and over, pays for your legal rights, in my opinion, to have access to watching it now and in the perpetual future. So you should definitely buy whatever personally legal means, right? Totally, completely legal means should have access to this movie.
Yeah.
Rewatchable.
Yeah. And
rewatch it through those legally
rewatch this right now with your significant other, with your kids, with your family.
After you download it legally from a website that's not Disney Plus, legally. If you own it at any point in a physical form, you do legally have the rights to download a copy of it for yourself. That is the law.
There you go. Well, I want to say
you can go to this website.
I want to say one more thing. We are taking next week off because
Superman.
yeah, because we're waiting for Superman. We were like, well, usually we do 2 movies, but we're like, you know what? Let's just take the week off.
We're plumb out of movies to watch.
We're gonna get Superman up for you, like
Super
crazy quick, like we did with
super quick.
Yeah, like we did with super quick. I get it.
Thank you.
Nice. Like we did with Deadpool and Wolverine. We're gonna get it up for you.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Lickety split. Okay. Well, guys, thanks for hanging out. We hope to catch you in the next one. Hope your day is everything you dreamed it'd be and more. And
subscribe or I will put your address in the comments.
Yeah, we'll come and personally mess up your groove.
This is a legitimate threat. I have access to the tools to do so.
Love you.
Hey, full-time MFers. You like this video? Because we sure did. If you liked it, maybe you should share it with your friends. Maybe like the video and subscribe.
If we were you, that's what we would do. If I was watching this,
I'd be all over that.
Like, and I'd hit that share, and then I would hit that subscribe in that order.
Yeah. There's also another video that's popped up. YouTube thinks you like this one, so you should watch that one now.
See you next time.